can't stop addicted to the shindig. How do you take your coffee? And we're back live, pre-recorded, hanging out with my boy Double T, Tony, and new guest to the show. If you haven't heard about him, the man, the myth, the legend, Ariel, here to join us. He knows his movies. Don't fuck around with him. Here we go. Okay. First topic of the day is we're going to talk about Plane, the recent action thriller to come out with Gerald Butler. So right now we're going to do non-spoilers. A little later in the video, we'll let you know. We're going to get a little bit into spoilers and what we thought about this surprise hit in January. Off the bat, before we get into specifics, Ariel, what did you think about the movie as a whole? Did you enjoy it? What did you think?
Definitely very enjoyable. A lot of action scenes. Storyline, very, very good. I was looking at the actual guy that got the storyline from, Charles Cummins. This guy, I mean, he's amazing. Multiple books. Great storyline. I don't want to get too into it because I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, very good.
Shocking response.
Look, you know what? I'll be honest. I think, and sometimes this happens when you go to the theaters. Every once in a while, you get like a really good surprise movie in January, like Nonstop back then with Liam Neeson. This is that kind of movie. I went in there thinking, oh, here we go, another piece of shit movie. But no, Mike Coulter ripped it up. Gerard Butler ripped it up. I mean, this movie was like, man, it was really, I mean, it caught me by surprise. I was like, shit, I got to tell all my friends to watch this movie. Because goddamn, they came through real hard. I had that Rambo feel to it. I had that Nonstop feel to it. Man,
Rambo, huh?
I had some moments of that Rambo in the jungle and shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as Rambo. I thought Rambo was a little more grittier, but I can see what you're saying. They're in the jungle and stuff. Overall, I thought the movie was great. Before I give away my 1 to 10 overall, what can I say? First off, Gerard Butler, he's always such an underrated actor. He's really, really great actor. What else? I thought he brought the emotion. He brought even some laughs. I thought his physicality in the role was really good. His ability to, fight and shoot and the whole bit. So he's overall really underrated actor. He's also stated before that he loves action movies. So there's another one we could put it there with Law Abiding Citizens, kind of an action movie. Olympus Fallen.
The Fallen movies, all three of them.
The Fallen movies. We can do, and now this one, Plane. I hope this becomes a trilogy. One of the guys that I follow was saying that maybe it could become like Plane, Train, and Car or something like that. It's a joke, but I mean, this movie really reminded me of the 90s, like The Rock, Con Air, Gone in 60 Seconds,
Speed. Yeah.
It maybe wasn't, the storylines weren't as emotionally investing, because those stories you really were more emotionally into the movie. But this movie kicked ass, and from 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a real solid 7 or 8. So, talk to me.
I'm going to have to, I'm with you on there. I mean, remember, when I give a movie like this a rating, I always compare it to a movie of its caliber, right? Like, it's the budget. This movie only cost, 25 million to make. Right. So, a kind of movie like that, I'm going to compare it to such movies. And that's in that field of, it's on the lower end side, but it kicked ass. I give this movie 8.5. Like, it's up there. And Gerard Butler was, man, I'm watching movies. Shit, I'm more invested in this guy than all of the Marvel movies of last year. It's fucking nuts. I just couldn't believe it.
Ariel, 1 to 10, what do you give it? And if so, how do you compare it to the last few years and the last few action movies you've seen?
So definitely Passenger 57, a lot of action.
Good one.
So I'll give it a solid, I'll give it a solid 7.5.
7.5. Tony, you said what? I'm sorry?
Like 8.5.
8.5.
Remember, I'm comparing it to movies in that kind of field, where they're not so expensive and not cost,
Okay.
They're not $200 million movies.
No, of course not. Of course not. For its budget and its size and what it could do, was a definite win.
Would I recommend you go to the movies to watch it? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking for a nice little date night or just something to do and you want to go to the movies, go watch that movie. Go watch that movie. You don't have to. I mean, you can wait. I'm going to watch it again when it comes out on whatever service it drops. But, I mean, that movie was, what a surprise hit, man. Surprise hit.
Yeah. All right, guys. If you do not want to hear spoilers, please go watch the movie and come back. So now we're going to get into some spoilers. Starting off with Ariel. What do you think about the ending of the movie? Do you think that it ended right? What do you think about the kill with the tire and the guy that ran over his face? What did you think about the guy that came on as an ex-con? I thought it had a little bit of social commentary also. The guy was a prisoner and whatever, and then he ended up becoming his friend. How did you feel about, first off, the ending? How did you feel like with the tire and all that? What do you think?
Definitely was an amazing ending. The way, everything turned out. Running back to the plane, shooting everybody up. Everybody met at one time. The guy was able to take off, out of nowhere with minimal distance, for the plane, and then 10 seconds later he landed. But it was this, like I said, there was a lot going on with the storyline. It was definitely they put a lot into this. It was a lot of things going on in that movie.
Interesting, Tony. The ending.
Well, hold on. What do you think about that 50 cal? That whole scene where the fucking bullet.
Absolutely
How many
realistic.
inches? How many inches are those bullets for real?
Very realistic when it comes to a 50 cal. I mean, 50 BMG. This thing, it's armor piercing. Depends even the rounds they're using. Armor piercing rounds. I mean, it goes through a car like hot butter. And yeah, the way it took those guys out, definitely realistic.
They will fall back like that.
Definitely.
How big are those rounds? You think 5 inches?
About
Maybe
half the
five.
size. Half the size of this ball.
Maybe 5-6 inches.
That's crazy.
And like I said, depends on the round. They got all types of different rounds. You're talking about armor piercing, incinerating rounds.
Yeah, I remember one time we went to the range with Ariel, and they shot an explosive, and then we almost all died. But besides that, it was a good time.
I remember that you weren't very too happy about that. You didn't feel safe.
I was happy.
You didn't
but
feel
I was
safe
like, I didn't expect my. I was like, I felt like the explosion hit me. Tony, the ending. Tell me what you think about the ending.
I mean, the ending had a lot going on. It's true. It was a little bit chaotic. I enjoyed more the middle of the movie, I would say. I mean, the ending, yeah, they take off and then they land and it's like, all right, we got out of here. We got out of the mess. But I like the way that Coulter was able, Mike Coulter, which is, I love that actor from Luke Cage. I'm sad I wanted to see
Mike
more
Coulter,
of Luke Cage.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that he gets away and you kind of saw that coming too. You already knew he was the best.
Look, overall for me, the ending was an A+. I loved the whole, the guy's in the middle of the runway and the tire completely obliterates him. That was super funny. I thought the relationship between Gerard Butler's character and Mike Coulter was super interesting. I kind of saw it coming. The whole, he's perceived as bad, but then he becomes good and he kind of saves
Very
the day.
very 90s
Very
feel.
90s feel.
Which is okay sometimes,
Yeah. Also, the gun battles. If you're expecting Heat or like a Zero Dark 30, is not like that. You could tell that the budget is lower in this film. So the gun battles and the stuff like that, although the 50 BMG scene when they're shooting through the car and they're hitting, that scene was super cool. It reminded me a lot. I think they got that from remember the Arnold movie Eraser, that they could see and they would shoot through the house and they'll hit the guy. I thought that was pretty cool. But besides that, the end was good. The relationships were good. I even thought his co-pilot was also a very good character. And it did have that funny scene with the guy that would, he's like, here are our snacks. They'll be gone in an hour or whatever.
The dickhead guy.
The asshole
Yeah,
guy.
the cast of that.
Also very 90s feeling. But overall, for me, the movie was a hit.
Well, because the movie had a low budget, the director was able to have a lot of fun filming some of his shots. And you could tell he'll do a lot of long shots where he'll be like in the prison and he'll follow through. Even the Gerard Butler scene where he wrestles with the guy. I mean, that was a whole one take. So when you have those kind of like lower budget movies, you get to see them do more. The actors get to do more, show more because, I mean, you're paying most of the budgets for that star.
Yeah.
And you get to see him really perform. So when he did all those cuts and those, man, even when they had the shot, a long shot where they go and slice the guy's neck from behind and he brings out that combat knife, I'm like, shit, hell yeah, let's go.
I mean, I think it sucked, but it's all right. I think everybody sucked on there. Yeah.
We'll see you on the next one. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell button, and see you later.